In our last video, I talked about the importance of which party controls the Senate. Now that applies to the House of Representatives too. Together they are the US Congress, one of three separate but equal branches of government, as defined by the Constitution. This triumvirate is fundamental to the United States. It is the White House, the Supreme Court, and Congress, the executive, the judicial, and the legislative. And the theory is, each one is there to keep the other in check. Only, it doesn't really work like that anymore. For example, the White House has the power to nominate judges to the Supreme Court. But those nominees have to be approved by Congress. So there it is right there, the check and balance. But of course, depending on who's in the White House and who's controlling Congress at the time, it might all be for nothing. Like in February 2016, when conservative Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia died. Now, the sitting president, Barack Obama, nominated Merrick Garland, a liberal judge, for the vacant position. But with 8 months until the next presidential election, the Republican Senate leader Mitch McConnell wasn't having it. He said such an important appointment shouldn't be made by an outgoing president, and he made sure Garland's nomination did not progress. In the end, of course, Donald Trump won the election, and 5 months later, his conservative pick for the court, Neil Gorsuch, had been nominated, approved, and sworn in, just like that. That showed the power of having control in Congress, being able to thwart a lifetime Supreme Court appointment. But how do you think it played out when the same scenario came up again at the end of Donald Trump's presidential term? That was in September 2020 when the long-serving Liberal Justice, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, died. It only took Donald Trump 8 days to announce his nominee to replace her, Conservative Judge Amy Coney Barrett. And funnily enough, Mitch McConnell had no issue this time around. Barrett was confirmed by Congress and sworn in a month later, just 9 days before the 2020 presidential election. So in 2016, Republicans in Congress thought 9 months was just too close to an election to be appointing a Supreme Court justice. And yet they pushed through a nomination and approval in 2020 with just 35 days left till Election Day. Hypocritical? Yes. But that's how this separate but equal system can be made to work. Because a triumvirate made up of allies is actually just a monopoly.